Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video, just specifically so that we can add a counter narrative, or I can get an idea of how much astroturfing is out there, because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love their dislike button extensions.
Well, boys, today is tomorrow, and Idubbbz. This man is back in the news because he made a content deputy, essentially content cop 2 on H3H3. All right, he should have just named it that, because it was about him there as long as the damn content cop, and it was as boring as the content cop. It had nothing that the content cops originally had. None of the skits, none of the funny bits, none of the jokes. It was just downright depressing seeing a man say, "I want to be your friend, but you have to change everything. All of your opinions. You can no longer have any of your own opinions, because I think your opinions are wrong, but I do want to be your friend." It is sad. It is sad to see. And it's pretty obvious that out of everyone, Ian is milking it. Don't get me wrong. If you have good content, you should just milk it. All right, let's not act like 12th graders and be like, no, every piece of content needs to be unique and should be well thought out. It's like some people just need money. And I wish Ian would just say he needs money, because if he just said that, then we all can get past this and ignore this and treat him the way he should be treated, as a failed content creator that couldn't segue into a, better path, something that he wanted to truly go down with his content creation career. Instead, he has to now step away from creator clash. Yeah, somebody tells you the reason why he made this content deputy is because he's hurting. I'm not gonna lie, that last video, that content cop, we all can say, hey man, no one liked it. It did get over 6 million views, and from the grapevine, some other, YouTubers that I talked to, it probably made over 50K. Even though this man's probably in the hole for a lot more for, the organization of Creator Clash, unless he put that bag onto someone else. But he's probably hurting for money right now, all right? He's probably like, yo, we need to start pumping out content now. We need to start milking this damn cow. All right, so that's why he's probably going after Ethan again. Instead of him just, laying to rest the friendship that is never going to blossom again, now he's just being antagonistic. Let's just call it what it is. He's being antagonistic. And it's pretty obvious that this whole thing is stemming from Creator Clash, because if you guys don't know, H3H3 mentioned how, Creator Clash was a failure last year and it cost money. The whole charity part kind of didn't work out, seeing that you have to give money away to be called a charity. This was literally just a, boxing event. They poorly ran one at that.
I don't know if you know this, but last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity, Hassan. You have to give money to be charity. It's like a slush fund for them.
But for some reason, Ian started off his video crying. Just crying that, why is he attacking my charity event? He should be attacking only me.
I was hoping that if I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks directed at me and Anisa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that, because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anisa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
It's like, brother, Creator Clash is literally directly very much directly attached to you. This isn't like a separate business that has your name attached to it. This is literally your event that you would promote all over your social media accounts. Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, we're doing X, Y, and Z. So yeah, if you're going to be an asshole towards him, why would he be charitable towards you and your quote-unquote charity that doesn't raise money somehow? That is the worst charity ever. How do you not raise money for a charity? That makes zero sense. If you have so much production cost where it is almost infeasible for you to raise any money to give away, maybe you shouldn't be running a charity. Like, brother, he would have zero reason to actually attack your charity if it actually did what it was supposed to do. Raise money. How the hell do you have over $1 million to spend on this charity event and yet you can't make it back? Brother, I'm just saying, just take the $1 million, be like, yo, we're doing some street fights, some little brawls, and we're gonna stream it on Twitch, and then take that money and give it away. You could do that literally for free. It does not cost you any money to spin up a damn Twitch stream. Now, OBS is free, but obviously we can't get through a single video now from Idubbbz without him, being a hypocrite, because he goes on to say that for some reason Ethan and Hila are, incapable of taking accountability.
Aware that we raised $1.3 million for charity the first year of Creator Clash. The second year we operated at a loss, and I take full responsibility for that. We did band together. The community and the fighters involved ended up raising $175,000 for charity. It's been really disheartening to see how often Ethan will attack Creator Clash through us or attack us through Creator Clash.
Ian and Anisa, masters of putting on an event.
He's reposting random troll accounts that are very easy to vet. If you click on this profile, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde adjacent posts, and it just hates Anisa and I. Come on, dude, you're one step away from calling me a cuck. Just take the plunge. He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is gonna be worse than TanaCon. Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Hila. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders.
And then he goes into blaming them for the reason why they have to take a step back from Creator Clash. On top of that, he uses the same things that he criticizes H3H3 on, using random people on the internet as a way of criticizing H3H3 and not taking accountability for Creator Clash 2's failures.
But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it.
How? How? What was the point of that? What was the point of that little comment he made saying that the internet will blame you for your failures at Creator Clash 2 not being profitable? How would the internet spin that? I gotta know. And then on top of that, he tries to sympathy bait so hard by saying, me and Anisa have to step back from Creator Clash 3 because of all the hate from H3H3.
Now, with this recent revelation that people are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anisa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous two events. They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events on a regular basis. The event is still happening. Anisa and I just don't have any financial ties. We don't have any ownership. We are, I think just going to be known as the founders of the event. Yeah, I mean, I think it had to come to this eventually. I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't, I can. I just didn't want to. I want to be frank. I want to be honest. I was very quiet during the second Creator Clash because I was afraid of how that would impact other people. This year I said I'm going to do something different. I'm going to fight back if someone's trying to attack me. So that's what I did. And now I've realized, I can't really have my cake and eat it too. It's either you're going to talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're gonna have a charity event. It really can't be both.
Brother, if the fucking event sold out and was selling gangbuster pay-per-view events, you wouldn't have stepped down. You would have stayed on and kept talking shit. The reason why you stepped down is because this event is about to be a failure, and you want to wipe your ass clean of it. Alright, we're not gonna sit here and act like the first event was this wild success. People are very skeptical on that right now. I'm gonna have a video coming out later about why people think that first event contributed to the actual downfall of the second event, because a lot of people are saying actually they were just throwing money away on this quote-unquote charity event. Froggy Fresh has even told us that the fighters got $20K. To the surprise of no one, Creator Clash failed to break even, and it in fact lost $250K in the hole. Each of the fighters was paid $20,000 stipend for boxing training and also received travel and accommodations paid for by the event. 24 fighters times $20,000 is over $480,000. Again, boys, these are supposed to be, they're old washed up YouTubers, but YouTubers back in the day were still making money. They were still living good back in the day. These people are supposed to be some of the richest YouTubers out there, or at least some of the more successful ones out there. So if you're telling me these people needed to get paid for this charity event, over $400K went to pay people to, participate in a charity event. And then on top of that, people like Odd Ones Out are saying that they, fought for quote-unquote free.
Why did I decide to participate in Idubbbz's Creator Clash charity boxing event where some ripped Australian guy was going to punch me in front of everyone I ever loved? on my birthday. And I wasn't even getting paid to get punched in the head.
Brother, if you think getting paid $20K is fighting for free, I don't know. I don't know. This man makes too much money at that point. It's just too much money. If you think $20,000 is you fighting for free, all they had to do was not pay, which reveals the grift and removes the plausible deniability this was ever actually about charity and not about ego stroking and brand promotion. Fighters who are all either independently wealthy, if not outright rich, really shouldn't be paid. I added that in at the end. But yeah, in my opinion, if they're already rich, they really shouldn't be paid. I understand that this was supposed to be for them to, you know, get like a trainer or something, but I'm just sitting here like, you could have literally got a dedicated gym membership for probably less than $20,000. Brother, dedicated gym memberships to like boxing gyms and stuff like that probably could cost like, what, 50 to a couple $100 a month. You're saving a significant amount of money on the amount of time it took them to train, because I'm pretty sure it was like 9 months that they were training, so you would have saved so much money. Anyone that was paying their full $20K to a trainer was getting scammed. You're just getting scammed altogether. I'm sorry to tell you, if you need someone to tell you, hey, don't eat cookies and ice cream all day while you're training for a boxing event, you're done, alright? You're finished mentally. Now, doing a little research, alright, I found a nice little boxing gym, alright. These are, I guess, public lessons. I guess this is not going to be suitable for YouTubers. You know, the multi-millionaires boxing. They can't just, you know, go to boxing classes, unlimited classes, 24 access to a gym, literally $250 a month. That'll be less than $3K within 9 months. Brother is just giving away money to millionaires at this point. Ian is just putting money into millionaires' pockets for zero reason. If any of those people had good, financial responsibility, they could have trained for this event for less than $3K. Brother, this man is running an amateur boxing event. These people aren't supposed to be the world's greatest boxers. They're just supposed to know the fundamentals. We're not going here thinking this is a damn Mayweather versus Holyfield fight, brother. These YouTubers were getting paid $18K. I get it, over the next 9 months, because they're not allowed, or they're not going to be able to make as many videos, even though most of them, whenever they upload videos about the fight, would get tens of millions of views on these videos, which will result in tens of thousands of dollars, especially if they put sponsorships in them. Like, brother, this is literally a huge part of the fucking YouTubers' income would be them uploading videos of them training. Otto and Zout got 10 million views on that one video of him talking about him training. Brother, they're making money either way off this event. I just don't understand the quote-unquote charity part. Why are you paying them, and then on top of that, they're allowed to make videos on this? The whole thing should be, if you are going to make a video on this, that money has to come to charity. You can't make money off of this. This is a charity event. Brother, make it make sense. All he did was get out of shape YouTubers in shape and paid them. That's all he did for a charity boxing event where all these people are amateurs. No one was expecting a good fight, nor did we really get one. Just saying. I don't know how much training you need to be an amateur to hit someone in the face. It's not $20,000 worth, I will tell you that. And I mean, even in this content deputy, if you can call it that, this man is still crying about it. He's like, man, I spent like 4 years working on this stupid shit that didn't pan out the way I thought it was going to be. He probably thought it was going to be like the next UFC or some shit. Let's all be honest here. This man has grand delusions about his fucking actual ability to create content. Brother, you had a couple good series that you abandoned, and now you're digging out of the grave because you realize you're going broke.
I just want to see this event do well. I didn't try this shit because I thought I was going to be a good boxer. I didn't think I would be an awesome event organizer. And now I'm finally back to where I started, which is making fucking content cop videos. I don't want to make this too ham-fisted, but I kind of do want to make it ham-fisted, because I'm like, I spent my last fucking 4 years working on this stupid boxing. I mean, it was worth it, absolutely, but like, it's crazy that I've just returned to content cop.
You can see the pain in his eyes the way he was speaking, because if you was proud of the stuff you were doing on this boxing event, you wouldn't call it this stupid boxing shit. Brother, who says that about something that they're proud of? It's like saying, I made the world's greatest movie. You wouldn't say, man, I was working about 4 damn years on this stupid movie. You like, suck a This is my legacy. Get out of my way. This boy is upset that he realized that people don't care for his content outside of the content cop, and he's just watering it down now. This is his last thing to make money, and for some reason he's just watering it down. He's not even trying anymore. He's just telling you straight up, he needs money. He needs money. That's why he's creating these content cops now. But continuing on, this man, Idubbbz, decided to rehash all the things that he went over in his content cop. And I want to be honest, it gets worse. Because this man is over here saying, Ian claimed that I was being anti-Semitic in my content cop.
Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
It couldn't have been the, I don't know, swastika sword. I'm just saying, brother, I swear to God, if someone says that sword is from Bleach, I'm gonna be so pissed. Don't make me bring up the capriotes. Now, the way that Idubbbz is gonna frame this is, he didn't even know the sword was even from Bleach. He was just picking up a random sword with a swastika on it. He's saying he is so retarded, or blind, maybe the man needs to get some glasses, to where he didn't even realize the one sword in all of Hassan's keeping has a literal swastika on. I cannot make this up. This man is feigning ignorance.
Now, I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword. I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword hilt, because Ethan himself basically admitted already multiple times he doesn't think any of us did that intentionally. And he would be right.
Do I think any of them actually like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No,
Yeah,
no. I don't actually think that. The chances that they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them.
I picked up a random sword in Hassan's room that was laying around. That could be the end of the discussion. You don't actually need to debate Hassan about the sword hilt.
I want to be honest here, chat. I don't know how this man H3 could be so graceful in a video where you're being slandered. I'm just saying, I don't know how he do it. If someone came out in a little hood, again, I'm bringing up the capriotes because, you know, that's relevant to my people. If someone came out in a damn capriote hood, I'm going to tell you, brother, we are not celebrating Easter. Why are you celebrating Easter in a video you're calling me out in? That's the real question. I'm about sick and tired of this BS, all right? Ethan is showing some grace and being like, maybe this man is so mentally... He wasn't even in a classroom where they showed the swastika in the history book. Maybe he's just that stupid. Boys, I don't want to be that type of person where I'm just like, everyone's racist. But brother, there's no way you're going to be calling out someone and being like, hey, here's the most hateful symbol I can find about your people. Here you go. There's no way you take a picture with that. But again, H3 is trying his best to be civilized and say, maybe he didn't see it. He's swinging the sword around. He's like, ooh, look at this. I'm going to take a picture with it. I'm going to put it up on Instagram. Maybe throughout that whole entire thing, he didn't even look at the sword. And instead of Ian being like, yo, since he's being graceful and kind and trying to say, I'm not racist in this particular event where it looks extremely racist. I'm just saying here, you're showing a swastika sword in a video where you're calling out a Jew. Instead of him doing the right thing of, yo, I didn't see that. Yo, I'm taking that down right now. I don't want to be, you know, associated with one of the most hateful groups, not only in America, but in the world. At one point was trying to dominate the world. Instead of him doing that, he's like, no, I don't want to give into his delusions that this symbol means something different. I don't want to give in to that. It's like, excuse me? So you want to be associated with that symbol. Because I don't know about you, if I was caught next to some hateful symbols, I'd be deleting. I'd be like, I didn't know it was like that. I thought we were just partying.
He left it up.
Decision making.
If it was a mistake, he could have deleted it.
But I'm not going to delete the photo because that would be indulging in your weird anti-Semitic fantasies.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that?
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance. My sincerity and my empathy in that last video was real.
Somehow, him showing you humility and grace and saying, actually, you know what? Maybe he didn't mean to use that symbolism in his video. Somehow you equate that to him having grand delusions of racism where you want to be associated with this hateful symbol. For some reason in his head, he thinks he's alley-ooping whenever, brother, no. It's like saying you have a KKK member in your family, you take pictures with the damn Grand Wizard. It's like, brother, you probably don't want that up on your Facebook profile. I'm just saying here. On top of that, you said, oh, well, I'm done being nice to him. And then, I'll be honest here, this is where I would really crash out, because this man compares H3H3, not to Hassan, not to Destiny, not to himself, to denims.
I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that denims could have crash out moments.
Brother, I want to be honest here, I would have went up to this man's house and slapped him in the face with that. I want to be honest, I don't know how Ethan is gonna respond to that. I would, oh my God, I would throw hands. I would have to throw hands at that point, comparing me to denims. And then on top of that, this man tries to deny that he was trying to make fun of literally Ethan Klein's mental health, which I'm like, if you weren't, you weren't. But also comparing this man to denims, I mean, like, that woman's brain is riddled with mental diseases. I'm gonna be honest here, it's about them there like STD. She's just collecting and spreading it.
I think we're all capable of it, but he was using it in the video to suggest that I was making fun of his mental health.
So we're gonna skip past the whole CPS part because I'm confused on the whole timeline. I'm not even gonna lie. Even the way that Eden was talking about it, I'm gonna be honest, I was still confused. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. That whole thing, I feel like they're both just trying to confuse people for the fuck of it at this point. I feel like they're just fucking with us on that whole little CPS thing. Next, Ian talks about H3H3's tattoos, which they are. I'm not gonna lie, they are extremely shitty. But I mean, like, so is Idubbbz. For some reason, Idubbbz wants to do a tat for tat. It's like, brother, you both have tattoos. Okay, cool. What's the argument there that we're supposed to take away? You both are awful with your life decisions and your money?
On top of Ethan characterizing me and my wife as anti-Semitic, he also takes a dig at my tattoos.
Bro, you literally look like a fucking free tattoo pack that you get for 25 cents from a windy thing, bro. Like, literally, my kids have cooler fucking tattoos from Chuck E. Cheese. Bro looks like he just went to the menu and was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one.
I have quite a few options here. I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing for the artists that you work with, because that means that they did a good job from a technical standpoint, but it's sort of a failure in every other aspect, particularly the decision-making aspect.
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say that, you know, this man doesn't have trash tattoos, but that tattoo of his wife on his, I'm pretty sure that's his thigh or whatever. I'm just saying, is it kind of weird? Yeah, that's really weird, and it's not really, you know, the best thing ever to get someone's face tattooed on you. But a wife that you've built a multi-million-dollar business with, also a wife that you have 2 children with, also a wife that you live in a $10 million mansion with, also a wife you've been married to for over 10 years, I'm pretty sure she deserves a leg tat. I'm just saying. Out of any and everything you can criticize, the wife tattoo, I'm pretty sure, is the least awful one. Now, those scribble marks, those were trash. I ain't gonna lie. Those are the awful decision makers right there. So Liquid Idubbbz, because I want to be honest, at this point, I don't even know if this is the real Idubbbz. I feel like after the couple years, Idubbbz was just MIA. He was just gone, and we didn't know where he was at whenever he was doing this whole little transformation. I feel like he got like kidnapped by the CIA, and they just took Idubbbz's brain and chopped it in half and put it in a new body or some shit. Because this man is not the same. Because the next thing that comes out of his mouth is, he talks about my CTE, but I'd rather have CTE than doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife. It's like, what? What is this argument?
Ethan also talks about the potential CTE that I might have after boxing.
Yeah.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. Some people are saying the CTE is starting to take effect, I guess. That would be comforting if there was some explanation, at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
Jack, what if we both do them? We'll both do 25 at once.
Do 25 each?
Oh my goodness.
Great form by both.
Really nice. They must work out.
Masterful gambit, sir. All right, masterful gambit. And for his last masterful gambit, because I can't watch the rest of this. All right, boys, I'm just letting you guys know I didn't even make it all the way through. Because he's just crying now, all right? This is the last crying, and then we're out for the rest of the day, all right? This man, Idubbbz, went on to say after this, me and Ethan actually we're never friends and never will be friends. And then he continues to say he's manipulating his audience into thinking that at one point we even had a friendship. We never had a friendship. Actually, personally, I never even knew his personal phone number. I never knew it. All right, I didn't know it by heart. All right, we never had a personal friendship. And then goes on to show a clip of literally Ethan saying, I just didn't want to talk to Idubbbz. Like, I felt betrayed. I just didn't want to talk to him at that point. And then he goes on to cry about it. If you were really my friend, you would have picked up the phone, Ethan. You would have picked up the phone after I talked on you online.
Ethan acts like we're such great friends and that like he shared such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like the whole thing is a fucking lie. He's manipulating his audience. We did not have a close relationship.
You guys were buddies for a long time.
He texted me like one time like, hey dude, we should talk this out. And I was like, I don't feel like having this conversation right now. That's it. So Ian kept trying to get me on the phone or text with me. And I told him, dude, honestly, I don't feel like having this conversation right now.
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay?
Just in that particular moment, and then like at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have talked to me on the phone. You wouldn't have shit talked to me. You would be curious where my brain was at and where I was coming from.
Nah, not really. If I had a personal friend talking to me or making a public statement about me online, I wouldn't be like, oh man, let me hit him up. Let me see what he talking about. No, your statement was right there. How you felt was right there. Brother, you're not going to be showing your ass to me and then saying, no, it's actually the full moon whenever we get on the phone. Like, brother, you're not going to be able to manipulate a grown man like that. And then this man Idubbbz, for his last Hail Mary, he wanted to make it seem like, actually, no, everyone actually agrees with me. Like, the people that were disliking it just, were people that only dislike videos. People that like videos tend to not like them as much. So, if you could like the video to show people that actually I'm right and you're wrong, then that's gonna be cool. And then he instantly gets disliked bomb.
Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video, just specifically so that we can add a counter narrative or I can get an idea of how much astroturfing is out there. Because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love their dislike button extensions. And I saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck? These are all like fabricated numbers. The like-dislike ratio was like 80-20 on my video, and then they tried to create a narrative of like, no, people actually hate this content cop, guys. It's actually so much worse. Like people were more upset with like my wife being on. You're not gonna convince the internet that fucking Ethan Klein isn't being a piece of shit. Like, sorry guys, it doesn't matter how many dislike extensions you have.
Brother is getting orbital nuked with fucking dislikes on this video, trying to make it seem like, actually, no, people like the content cop. No, it was not a good content cop. Brother said it was an 80-20 ratio. Yeah, 80% dislikes, 20% likes. That's not a good ratio for a amazing video. I don't know what kind of like to dislike ratios he's used to getting, but that's not a good one. Also, I don't know where this man is getting this narrative that people hate him more because of his wife doing the OnlyCans. Like, no, brother, that video was doing good because everyone thought, well, it's still the old Ian, and you know what? He's making some different choices in life. Whatever. That's between him and his wife, and everyone back then was still kind of afraid of going against Ian because he was known as the content cop guy, right? He was this apathetic man that didn't care about your feelings, that would make a video on you absolutely tearing you to shreds. But the reason why that video of him talking about his wife doing OnlyCans was so disliked by a lot of his community wasn't even really the fact that it was this video of him saying, I don't care what you think. My wife can do whatever she wants with her body. It's her body. It wasn't that. It was the fact that you was basically crying in the video talking about how you can't believe people would care this much. And, oh my God, what about my feelings, boys? My fees. It was this man that for a long time built up this career being big dog, top dog, barking at everyone, calling everyone out. And now he's being a little pussy bitch over some OnlyCans. Like, brother, dig up some of these people's profiles. Make fun of them. Like, he did none of that. Like, yeah, people dislike the video because you literally failed in every sense of what people expected from you as a content creator. I don't know what else to tell you. And then on top of that, your content cop is literally disliked so much more because it went against the whole purpose of a content cop, which was literally to bully someone. He didn't bully anyone, and then his niceness approach that he was trying to do with it was also just awful because it was a backhanded compliment. You would say, Ethan's a horribly disgusting person. But hopefully, and I pray for him to get better and turn his life around. It's like, what? I'm like, we're to the point to where I think H3H3 should just invite Idubbbz on to have a debate. Just like how Ethan Klein had a debate with Hassan Pike, and oh my god, I want to be honest here, I don't even know if Idubbbz want that smoke. Because, oh my god, Ethan literally wiped the floor with Hassan's face. Click this video right here to see how bad it was. But boys, other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.